I met Trey originally at a USC tailgate. Then we met again, I'd say probably about 4 years later.
I believe it was an Arkansas game. She came to my tailgate with some of her friends.
And we had common friends, and then that made it easier, and it's been 10 years now.
She's a great mom. I would describe her as a tough love mom with emphasis on both. She lays the rules down, and if they get out of line, she keeps them in line, but she lets them know that she cares about them a lot and how much both of our kids mean to her.
I was diagnosed in September of 2020, so 6 months into the pandemic. I had a nagging pain, like a dull nagging pain in my armpit. And I received a call a few days later, and they said that they had seen some asymmetry as well as calcifications, and that was really rare for someone of my age. And she said, I'm not gonna sleep well if I don't get this biopsy. And that really meant a lot to me, because you hear these horror stories about people just being dismissed or not believed or, not heard.
She was diagnosed with a estrogen receptor negative, progesterone receptor negative, HER2 positive breast cancer. And it was a grade 3, so high grade tumor. So when we met, I remember starting from ground zero and just kind of working through what was going on and how to move forward from there.
I remember shortly after diagnosis, sitting with Chip, just he and I reading a story and thinking, what if he doesn't have a mom in 6 months, a year from now? That's his whole life. His whole life is gonna be radically different without her. So there's a lot of fear there. But as we went through the journey, she educated herself best she could and just took the whole battle head on.
I really didn't have very many days where I thought, why me, or why was this me, or how did this end up being me? And so I think my main line of thought at all times is, why can't I?
Lauren is a go-getter, and so lots of excellent questions, and was ready to understand how to move forward and also ready to start, beating up the bad guy.
I don't think I could have received the care I did in the manner I did, in the order I did at any other hospital. I went in with a lot of trepidation. I was very weary, I was very scared. And when I tell you, I came with questions. And my first appointment with my oncologist, he sat there and answered every single one. In order, came back to some, reiterated, made sure that I didn't have a single question left.
It really just stops a person's world. But what was so impressive with Lauren was that she also moved forward with strength and humility and is hilarious. And so I don't think I've ever laughed with a patient as much.
Everybody we dealt with was first class, top notch. They went out of their way to make us feel comfortable. My wife was able to make a personal connection with all her caregivers and really feel like they cared about her. The people who are helping you are really invested in rooting for you to overcome.
Whether you're going through a crisis in cancer diagnosis or cardiovascular health issues, or frankly any other issue that brings you to the hospital, having the care and support of not only the teammates at Roper St. Francis Healthcare, but quite honestly, strangers through Roper St. Francis Foundation is really meaningful for patients. They're often really taken aback that a perfect stranger really is reaching out to them, showing their support. Every little bit matters, and the more we communicate that with our patients, the more valued they feel.
We are here to celebrate Lauren Tarpley's last day of chemotherapy. Let's give a round of applause.
This is my third cancerversary. So I am 3 years cancer-free this week. I never saw this being the 3-year mark. Not with a new baby and a new house and a new job and days and weeks where I don't even think about cancer. Don't ever let anyone tell you that treatment has made you infertile, because we were very pleasantly surprised with Lucy. Now we have a 9-month-old rainbow baby, Lucy, so we have 2 beautiful children now that we are very blessed to have and didn't expect to be able to have.
She went to become a patient advocate for herself and for others. She went online and found a community of young breast cancer patients, survivors, to become a helper to as many people as she can and use her journey as a positive example.
And that's where my advocacy journey began, to just pay it forward and give back.
And I think one of the blessings that was provided to her and to others around was the ability to take some of those stresses away, you know, whether that's with nurse navigation or whether that's with charity care, financial, you know, foundational support. They can maintain their dignity and grace during the process without the extra worry.
The Roper St. Francis Foundation is an essential partner for us to meet our mission of healing all people with compassion, faith, and excellence. Knowing that the foundation is behind you, whether you're a cancer patient like Lauren or any other patient that comes through our hospital system, it gives you a sense of solidarity, that you have a community fighting for you and standing behind you with the hope that you'll get well and you'll feel well.
When you have a treatment team that does things like that just inherently, that is where you know you've reached a different standard of care, and where I know they had my health and my best interest at heart. Mentally, I'm in a really good spot. Health-wise, I'm in a really good place, and I'm just really grateful.